Hi there. I hope you're doing well, you and your family. Some of you are without jobs. You're not going to work. You're laid off, furloughed, and maybe going through a tough time. And maybe you're at home most of the time and wonder what's coming next. As a pastor, I'm as busy as ever, and yet different kind of busy. I can't go to people's homes, but I'm working the phones and I'm on the computer and figuring out the next move in order to stay connected with the church. But Monday is usually a day that I take off for the most part. So I'm not even shaved today. I've been out in the church garden and working a little bit there. So right now I'm sitting in my office and ready to share a thought with you. There's a neurologist by the name of Oliver Sacks who tells the amazing story of a man he met. Virgil Adamson, his name was. Virgil has been blind since birth. And he ends up meeting a big city architect named Amy Benich, who really cares about Virgil. And so Amy begins to research Virgil's type of blindness. And she comes into contact with a physician who believes he can repair Virgil's sight, even though there have been only 30 similar cases in history. At first, Virgil is very reluctant with the idea. After all, he's lived in his sightless world forever, and he adapts very well. But Amy, as she describes what her world of sight is like, you know, the colors, the shapes, the incredible variety, the beauty, Virgil decides to have the surgery. He would love to experience the world that Amy is describing. And the surgery works. Virgil sees. And now his challenge is just beginning. He cannot relate to anything he sees since he's never seen it before. Up until now, he's only touched objects, you know, with his hands, you know, with his body. And he's been, you know, comparing his mental image with what he now is experiencing as he's looking at it. And it's very disappointing, very confusing to him. It turns out to be terribly difficult for him to arrange everything into a coherent picture. Depth perception is hard to learn. He walks into glass doors. He trips over steps. He reaches out to grab hold of a vase and knocks it over instead. He has to literally relearn everything. But his friendship with Amy keeps him boldly trying. And over time, he's able to start identifying various objects. But there's a problem. His habits, his behaviors are still those of a blind man. And that's what he knows the best. So he is struggling with that. He keeps reverting back, and this creates conflict between him and Amy. Now, Dr. Sacks, who shares Virgil's story, makes this comment. He said, "One must die as a blind person to be born again as a seeing person. It's the interim, the limbo, that's so terrible." Now, you know, I realize that there are lots of people today who are living in this limbo between spiritual blindness and sight. Maybe even some of us, where we may not want to let go of what we're comfortable with. And so we haven't firmly grabbed hold of the fullness of the Holy Spirit, God's corrective lens that I referred to last week, the Holy Spirit, that gives us profoundly clear vision and discernment. That Spirit is available to anyone who asks. A whole new world of spiritual seeing lies at our doorsteps. This is just a thought, and I'm Birger Draget, pastor of the Three Angels Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Wichita, Kansas. The question is, will we admit to falling short when we venture out on our own? Will we admit our inadequacy and surrender to God's Spirit today and every day? You know, I want to see. I want to see clearer and clearer. Do you?